Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vish and today we're going to be doing my August wrap up. To say that I filmed this 3 times now would be insane, am I right? But no, I have filmed this 3 times and I'm doing it again. Anyway, for this month I have read a total of 6 books and that page count is 2,141 pages. Last month I read 16 books and the page count was 4,427 pages, so I'm definitely down more than half my page count, but that's okay. I've been busy with uni and life happens, so it's okay. Now let's get into the statistics. For star ratings, I have 2 5-star books, 3 4-star books, 1 3-star book, and 1 DNF. In terms of age range, I read 2 middle grades, 2 YA, and 2 adult. And for genre, I read 3 fantasies, 1 sci-fi, 1 literary fiction, 1 graphic novel. In terms of mode of reading, I read 2 library books and 4 books from my physical TBR. And 5 of them were actual books and 1 of them was an ebook. So I'm going to go through all the books from my lowest rated to my highest rated, and obviously lowest rated would be my DNF. And the book I DNF is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. This is the August book club pick for Shelf Space. We read this. A lot of us did not like it and some of us liked it, which great for you. I am so glad. But I personally did not like this. This book is basically about New York City being a living thing that is being born, and this little tentacly monster thing is trying to attack it, and we have avatars in New York that represent the boroughs of New York. So there is Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, etc., etc. And those avatars have to protect the city from said monster. So what I liked about this book was the writing style and the concepts, but what I didn't like about this book is the characters. So like I said, the characters are a representation of New York City, so they have traits of the boroughs that they belong to. And because I'm not from New York City and I'm not from the States, I don't know and not familiar with the references in this book, so I couldn't really connect to the characters and also the world. And in the live show, we were talking about how this book also lacked a plot. Everyone was just kind of sitting around doing nothing, or just kind of accepting things as the way they were instead of explaining to us what's happening. And I totally agree. Because of that, I didn't really vibe with this book, hence the DNF. And the next book is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. I got this as an ebook from my library and I gave this a 6.1 out of 10, which is a 3-star. So this is a YA fantasy romance, and this is basically about this girl named Alessandra who wants to woo the Shadow King, marry the Shadow King, kill the Shadow King, and then take his place as queen and rule the kingdom. And obviously, this being a fantasy romance ensues. This was a good fantasy romance. I wouldn't say it was the best because the fantasy aspect was lacking. There was no world building, literally nothing. There was no explanation about the magic system. We're just told little bits and bobs of the world here and there, and that was it. So the main focus was the romance, and if you don't like that, definitely don't pick this up. But if you want just a good old fantasy romance, definitely pick this up. I really love the romance and also the characters in here. They're just very, very entertaining. The next book I read was The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This is also from the library, and this is a children's middle grade graphic novel, and I gave this 7 out of 10, which is a 4-star. Like I said, this is a children's middle grade graphic novel, so there wasn't much to it, but it was very wholesome, very cute. The art style was very, very cute, and it was just a really cute and wholesome read. I don't know what other adjectives to add to this, but it was just really cool. And I just had a lot of fun reading it because there were cute dragons and there was a cute female-female romance, and also a very, very cute male-male romance as well. So if you want a cute and wholesome graphic novel, definitely pick this up. And then the next book I read was The Explorer by Catherine Rundle. This is the July pick for the middle grade monthly book club, which is run by Jade from Jadeyraereads and Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. And I gave this 7.4 out of 10, which is a 4-star as well. I really enjoyed this one. So this is basically about these 4 kids who are going on a plane to a field trip, and midway the plane crashes into the Amazon, and now these 4 kids alone have to survive in the Amazon and try to figure out a way to get home. The reason why I really, really enjoyed this book is the sense of adventure and also the atmosphere of this book. It was phenomenal. The thing I didn't like about this book is the characters. They were not great, but the atmosphere and the sense of adventure was more on the pro side for me, because in this book we get a lot of tips and tricks on how to survive in the Amazon. It was just so realistic, and I was also learning at the same time but also immersed in this world. It was just really, really great. So if you're looking for like a quick adventurous middle grade, it's very quick because it's short, definitely pick this up. And then the next book I read was Red Rising by P.S. Brown. I gave this book 8.7 out of 10, which is a high 4-star. It's almost a 5-star. I just had a little bit of issues with this. This is actually my second read. So my first read, I read this last year and I gave this 5 stars. So this book is about a guy named Darrow who is a red, and he recently found out that the Golds are enslaving the Reds for many, many years now, and to take revenge he wants to infiltrate the Golds and take them down from the inside. That's essentially what this book is about. No idea what all the other books are about. I'm just going in blind after this. I really, really enjoyed this book, especially Darrow as a character. He is amazing. He has such great character growth throughout this book, and I enjoyed seeing that. So the first half of this book has a very different atmosphere and setting from the second half of this book, and I prefer the second half of this book because there's a lot of war and military strategy, which I find fascinating, and I want to read more war military fantasies. And I do have a few that are on my September TBR. So the only issue I had with this book is its pacing. The pacing was all over the place. Sometimes it was up, sometimes it was down and boring. So I had issues with the pacing. That's why it's not quite a 5-star, but I really, really enjoyed this and the writing style and Darrow, and just, it was awesome. So I can't wait to get into the second book. Now, the next 2 books, I'm sure you probably already know if you've seen my last 2 weekly updates, which I'll link above and below. And the books are Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett and Shortfall by Robert Jackson Bennett. So for Foundryside, I gave this a 9.1 out of 10, and Shortfall, I gave this a 9.6 out of 10, which is also a 5-star. I'm gonna be reviewing this together because it's just great. So this is essentially about a girl named Sancha who is hired to do a robbery, and she has to steal this ancient artifact from a safe. And once she does, she then is targeted to be assassinated because someone else wants this artifact as well. That's essentially what Foundryside is, and Shortfall basically follows 3 years after what happened in Foundryside. So I absolutely love this. I love the characters, and the magic system especially is so unique. I compare it to the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, The Final Empire. The unique system that Brandon Sanderson has in those books are so unique and so intricate, and it's the same here as well. The easiest way to explain this magic system is coding. So when you have a code for something, and when you erase a certain part of that code and change it, the whole thing becomes something different. So it's exactly the same as like a object. So let's say if you have a door, right? And the door opens inward and you want the door to change it outward. So you change the scribing of that door, and then now it opens outward. That's the easiest way to explain. And Sancha has that ability to talk to these objects and change their scribings. It's so amazing. Definitely pick this up. The ending of Shortfall was just amazing, and I can't believe I have to wait for the 3rd book, and the 3rd book's not even announced yet. So we're all suffering. These are all the books I read in August plus 2 more, and it was a good reading month, especially with Foundryside and Shortfall. Shortfall is probably one of my favorite books of the year. Let me know what you read in August, and let me know if we've read the same books. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!